Today I'm going to show you how you can use only one eyeshadow to really transform your makeup look. They're all really minimal looks, but they can really make a difference. Maybe you're someone that doesn't like to spend a lot of time on your makeup in the morning, but you still want to look pulled together. Or maybe you just don't think you're very good at makeup. Or maybe you have some eyeshadow palettes that you don't use all of the colors and maybe they intimidate you a little bit, or you're just not sure how to use the palette. If any of those things are the case, then this video will be perfect for you. And the best thing is all of these looks are daytime and nighttime appropriate. Welcome if you're new, my name's Karina. I'm a makeup artist and my channel is focused all on natural, clean, simple, wearable, classy makeup looks. So the first thing you can do is use any neutral matte shade, put it all over your eye, and what that's going to do is just make the color of your eye stand out a little bit without drawing any attention to your makeup. Really, because this is a neutral, you can use this for anything. This is the Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. I use this in a lot of my videos, and all of these are pretty neutral shades. Ignore the foils, but any of the mattes, you can just do a nice little wash over your eye. The color I chose is a Wedge by MAC, and it's just a very kind of light but cool tone brown. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, but not too dark. So it's just gonna make the green in my eyes stand out a little bit, add a little bit of definition in that area without it being the focal point of my makeup. For all of the powder eyeshadows today, I'm gonna be using my Morphe M433 brush. It's just like a fluffy blending brush. When you're dealing with just one eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the same technique for all of them. I'll change my tool when I go into creams, but basically you want to deposit most of your color right on your lid, and then you just blend it out from there. So for me, I like to take it right into my crease and right up onto my brow bone a little bit, just because I've got a lot of space right there, so I do take it up fairly high just before it hits my eyebrow. And then once all of the color is being deposited off the brush, we're just going to kind of wipe it off on a paper towel and go back in and blend the edges out. And that is how easy it is. You can do this with any single eyeshadow you have. You can leave the color just to the top lid, or you can just take that same brush and run it along the bottom lash line for a little bit more definition. My eyes are a little bit more defined. They're a little more bright and green without the attention being drawn to the makeup look itself. My makeup just looks clean and simple. Alright, so I've taken that off. The next thing you can do is use any cream eyeshadow, any neutral cream eyeshadow. Cream eyeshadows are really nice because they look like they're more a part of your skin without kind of looking like you've put an eyeshadow on. You just have to find a cream product that doesn't crease. I love all of the Paint Pots by MAC. They've got a ton of colors. I think they just launched even more colors. I've got 3 really good neutrals. I'm going to show you examples of 2. The first one is Groundwork, and it is just kind of like a light brown, but it's a little bit warmer than Wedge. It does have a little bit, if you can see, of a sheen, but it's not too much. It's not going to look too shiny on your eye or anything. It does just kind of bring a little bit of life to the skin. The other 2 really good examples are Painterly and Soft Ochre. So it just depends on your skin tone. This is Painterly right here. This is Soft Ochre. I will use those when I just want my eye look to be blank, but I want my makeup to look really clean. A lot of people, including me, have discoloration on their lids, like purple or redness or little eye veins, things like that. So say you just want a nice lash look with no eyeshadow on your eye and you want to do like a lip focus or cheeks or something like that, then I'll go in with Painterly or Soft Ochre just to kind of like blank out that eye. It's almost like putting a concealer on, except for they won't crease, so it's like budge proof. With cream eyeshadows, I tend to lean toward using a synthetic brush just because I feel like the product slips off the bristles a little bit easier and it's easier to blend out, but any fluffy eye blending brush will work. For this, I'm using the Real Techniques Domed Shadow Brush, and I'm showing you how to apply Painterly first, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's just gonna look like a really clean makeup look. I'm using the same technique that I already talked about with just using that matte powder eyeshadow, just starting right on the lid and then blending everything out from there. With Painterly, I will bring it pretty much all the way up to my brow bone because I'm not trying to create an eye look. I'm just trying to cover up or conceal my whole eyelid area. You can also just blend out with your fingers with these paint pots. And here I am applying groundwork. It's a neutral, soft-toned, warm brown. It'll work for a lot of different skin shades. These also work really well for base colors for a powdered eyeshadow. If you want to put like a neutral brown on top, it's really going to make that brown pop. And if you have oily lids, these are perfect because they don't budge at all. They don't crease. Actually, groundwork is a little bit more luminous than I thought. It's not completely matte, but it does give just pretty natural sheen. So the next thing you can do is, of course, use a little bit of shimmer on your eyes. And that doesn't mean you have to go crazy. You don't have to do anything too sparkly or glittery. You could choose just like a satin kind of sheen. As long as you're keeping the colors like lighter and neutral, you can of course wear these in the day and it'll transition really well into the evening. Say you're going to a dinner later on or something, just because it'll give your makeup look a bit more pizzazz. This will of course bring the attention to your eye or to the makeup itself a little bit more. I like to wear these in the daytime. I think they're fun. I think it switches it up from just wearing neutrals and mattes all the time. So you can either do creams or shimmers. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna show you first the cream shimmery shade, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of a powdered eyeshadow on top of that so you can see both. You can see how the cream underneath makes the shadow on top pop a little bit more. I have these cream shadows by Nude Sticks. They're just kind of neutral. One's light, one's medium, and one's a little bit dark. They are called Magnetic Luminous Eye Color. And I think I'm going to go in with the color Nudity. If you don't want it to be quite as foiled, you can just pick the product off your brush. Or if you want it to be a little bit more intense, draw the product right onto your eye and then just blend out with a brush or with your finger. So I'll draw the color on right up until my crease, and then I will blend it out from there a little bit higher. I like most of that pigment to be right on the center of my lid so that when I open my eye, that's where you're seeing the most shine. So you can see this is very neutral, but it just has a little bit more sparkle, a little bit more shine, and it's just kind of a fun way to do a day look eyeshadow. I really like wearing more of like neutral brown eyeshadows in a satin finish, just because then you're getting both the definition in your eye, so you're whatever color your eyes are, it's going to pop out a little bit more, but it also brings in that sheen and that life, so I think that's really pretty. For example, something like Sugared Chestnut in the Natural Nudes palette. It's just a little bit darker, so you'll still get that, like I said, definition. And then just to show you that you can put like a powder on top of that and it'll make it pop even more, I'm just going to take Shimmering Pearl in the Natural Nudes palette, kind of like a light gold champagne color, and I'm just going to take my finger and pop that right on top, and you'll see how intensified you can get that shimmer. All right, the next thing you can do, this one's very, very simple, just using a single shadow, is just highlight the inner corners and have your mascara on, and it's just gonna look really bright and pretty. You're gonna look alive, awake, healthy, all of the good things. I always like to use Shroom by MAC. I've been using this forever. It's definitely a cool tone color. It'll work really well for you if you have more cool tone skin or fair skin, but it's universal. It works for everyone. So I just take a very small pencil brush. This one is Sigma Pencil E30. Pick up some of that color and then just go right into your inner corner. I like to bring a little bit right onto the bottom part of the inner corner as well. You could also choose a more gold tone shade or a more nude toned shade, like Naked Lunch by MAC is a really good one. Just a little bit more skin tone and color. Just highlights the inner corner, wakes you up, and it's very, very little effort to do in the morning. Okay, another thing you can do with a single eyeshadow that will transform your look is just pick up a neutral matte shade. Choose a shade that is just half a shade or one shade darker than your own skin tone, and we're just going to define our crease. We're only going to put the color in the crease. We're going to leave everything else blank, and that will just define your eye. It's easy, it's quick. I'm taking the color Nude in that Natural Nudes palette. Then I'm just going to take my fluffy eye blending brush, pick up a little bit of that product. I'm going to look straight on into my mirror, and I'm just going to start right in the crease and carve that out a little bit. So that just gives your eye area a little bit of definition without being anything obvious. You can deepen that up a little bit. You can add a little bit of color You can do whatever you want to do. This is the simplest way to do it. The last thing I wanted to show you is how you can apply a little bit of color to your eye while using just one eyeshadow. We'll still be keeping it daytime appropriate, and I suggest not choosing super bright shadows, like if you're thinking of like neons and like bright pinks, bright blues, things like that. But say you have a palette like the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. It's got more color in it than that Natural Nudes palette, right? There's like the cranberries and the purples and the rusts and things like that. Well, I guess rust is still a neutral, but there's just a little bit more color going on. Or something like this Tartelette palette. I've had this for a really long time as well. Obviously a lot more purples, gray tone purples. You can choose any of those colors and just do a really light wash of color over your eye. It'll just kind of switch up your look a little bit. Maybe you're tired of just wearing nudes all of the time, or maybe you just have a palette and you're not sure how to use it. This is like a really beginner, easy, friendly way to go about trying one of those shades. So as an example, I am going to be using Dusty Rose from the Soft Glam palette. And actually I'll just use the brush that comes in that palette. So I'm just picking up a little bit. I'm going to tap it off really well so there's not too much pigment on my brush. And then again, same thing, just start right on your lid and start to blend up as the color deposits off of your brush. This is also a really nice way to just figure out what colors suit you, what colors look best on you, what colors you don't like. So again, this will draw attention to the eyeshadow itself a little bit more than if you're just wearing a nude. But it's a nice way to wear color. It makes my eyes look a little bit greener, and it's just something different than the day-to-day eyeshadow. So I really like this look. Wearing soft colors, it's really pretty. It's so easy because you're just using one shade. Let me know what you think. If you wear color, what is your favorite color to wear on your eyes? I really hope that was helpful. I got a new camera lens, so let me know what you thought about the quality of this video. This is brand new, and because I'm such a beginner, I am figuring out all the tech stuff, so let me know if this quality was good, if you liked it better. I also added a little bit of art to my background, a little bit of watercolor art. I really love your guys' feedback. I love it when you leave comments and questions. It just all really helps me because I am so new. So thank you so much for commenting or asking questions or anything like that. If you have any videos that you want me to film that do keep in line with what my channel is about, of course, like the natural kind of simple or classy makeup looks, then leave your suggestions below and I'll definitely see if I can make a video for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.